All right, so this is the third lesson on our topic bearing. The first lesson we looked at the meaning of bearings and all the strategic angles found on the cardinal point. Here we are looking at the previous lesson. We look at how to convert compass bearing to surveyor's bearing. That's 3-digit bearing to 2-digit bearing, 2-digit bearing to 3, like that. Here we have to look at the bearing between 2 points, involving 2 points. So let's say so look at this question. Say if A is on a bearing of 30 degrees from B, find the bearing of B from A. You can see that question. All right, so we can notice here that B is a reference point. So that's the first one we are going to draw. From B, we will now locate A using 30 degrees. Okay, so let's go over to that side. So we draw the point B. Draw point B, knowing that it's on the third quadrant, first quadrant rather. So this is our north, this is our east. We know that this place is our 45 degrees, so we take our hand up for 30 degrees. So this is where A is. Remember, this is point B. So at that point we draw our cardinal point. This is point A, of course. So A is on the bearing of 30 degrees. So this is with 30 degrees. That's 30 degrees. 30 degrees. Alternate angles are equal. So here will also be 30 degrees. 30 degrees as well. Now, to locate the bearing of B from A, we'll go to the cardinal point of A and rotate from the north and touch that same line. And if you fill up, you will have 90 degrees plus 90 degrees, 90 degrees of course, plus 30, and that will give you 180 plus 30 is 210 degrees. So it is said that B is on a bearing of 210 degrees from A. B is on a bearing of 210 degrees from A. Let's look at another example. Problem before us here reads, given that A is on a bearing of 130 degrees from B, find the bearing of B from A. Like you can see, B is the reference point, so we're going to draw the bearing of B, and from there we can locate the direction of A. All right, so let's go over there and draw. Pick a pen now. So 130 is made up of first thing you need to know, 130 is made up of 90 degrees and 40 degrees. Okay, so we are in the second quadrant. That means we draw our point north, of course, and we know that this place is for 135, so we take our hand up a little and locate our 130. If you fill up correctly, of course, here will be 90 degrees and here will be 40 degrees. Right? Okay, so here we draw our cardinal point as well. Draw our cardinal point, that's the north. So alternate angles are equal. So here is 40 degrees. Bearing uses the concept of alternate angles. So here will be 40 degrees. Here will be 40. Remember, this is your west. So this is point A, of course. This is point A. This is point A, while this place is point B. Okay, so remember, B was a reference point. Now, to find the bearing of B from A, we go to A and rotate from the north and touch that line. Okay, and touch that line coming from B. If you fill up, you find out that you have 90 degrees. You also have 90 degrees here and 90 degrees here as well. Sorry, 270 plus this 40. That will give you 310 degrees. So say hence B is on the bearing of 310 degrees from A if A is on the bearing of 430 degrees from B. All right, let's solve the last question on angles bearing of 2 points. Okay, so the next problem reads, if M is on the bearing of not 50 degrees west from N, What bearing is N from M? Like we said before, from N tells us that that is the reference point from where M can be located, and so we are going to be drawing the bearing of M first, okay. Then from there we can now locate the bearing of M. So N's bearing will look like, so this is point N. We are drawing that of say is north 50 degrees west, of course, which is the same thing as 310 degrees if you're familiar with our conversion of compass bearing and surveyor's bearing. All right, so now that means you have to draw 310 degrees. But if you have to interpret this, it simply means that this is where it's best to draw the point N, because it's coming from the north towards the west 50 degrees. North towards the west 50 degrees. We know that this is our 45 degrees, so 50 degrees will be a little bit down. So this is where 50 degrees will be located. So this is 50 degrees. This angle here is 50 degrees. And at this point, we draw our cardinal point. Alternate angles are equal. So here will also be 50 degrees. Here will be 50 degrees. Remember that if here is 50, then surely here will be 40. I don't know, it's unneeded, but just writing it down for reference purposes. And also, it also implies that here will also be 40 degrees. 40 degrees. All right. So to get this is point. This is for point. This is for point N. While this is now is point M. Point M. Now to locate the bearing of M, the bearing of N from M, bearing of N from M, what we'll do is move from the north of N and touch that line. Move from the north of M and touch the line coming from N, and that will give us 90 plus 40. Talking about here, 90 plus 40, that will give you 130 degrees. 130 degrees. So N is on the bearing of 130 degrees from M. Remember, we say M is on the bearing of north 50 degrees west, which is the same thing as 310 degrees from N. What is the bearing of N from M? We have found out that M is on the bearing of 130 degrees from M. Okay, so let's move on and solve the last example. Well, the question reads, what is the bearing of N from P if P is on a bearing of south 40 degrees east from N? That means P's bearing is known, but that of the N is not known. So from the statement here, the first cardinal point we want to draw is that of N, because it's from N you can locate P. Then from P we can now later locate N. So we are drawing points for N. Remember we said N is giving us 40 degrees southeast for P. Okay, so we have this to be our 45 degrees. Moving from the south towards the east, 40 degrees. So moving from the south towards the east, 40, you're not touching the 45, you stop there, you draw this. So this is the direction of P, the direction of point P. We draw our cardinal point there, Remember, this is our point N, and this is our point P. Okay, so and here we've said here is 40 degrees. There is 40 degrees. Okay, that means here must be 50 degrees. Okay, all right. So alternate angles are equal, of course. Here will be 50 degrees. This angle is alternate to this one. Then here it will be 40 degrees. Of course, this one is alternate to this. Now to locate the bearing of N from P, we rotate in a clockwise direction until we touch that line. And that will give us 90, which is 180, 90, 270 plus 50. That will give us 270 plus 50 is 320 degrees. So it is said that N is on the bearing of 320 degrees from P. Alright, that's the much we can take for now. If you don't understand, please kindly rewind the video and get clarification. If you want further explanation, you can drop your question and contribution in the comment box. I'll be waiting to give you response and answer as much as possible. If you like the content, please smash the like button for me and share the video to those who may need it, and also subscribe to the channel if you're interested in getting content like this. This is Tambari. I appreciate you for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video.